People ask me sometimes, are you religious? And my answer might be interesting because I do love God deeply and I have complete faith in God. Because of that, yes, I call myself a Christian, but I don't really like the word religious. When people talk about religion, they usually mean, do you go to church? Or what doctrine do you follow? I understand why some people would choose a doctrine of religion to follow, thinking that those who came before knew what was best and have passed it down. But what's so important to understand is that we aren't required to learn about God and the gospel through a specific religion. We can learn it right in the Bible, in the four synoptic gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The book of James is another great helper too. In the end, what this means is that I don't follow a certain religion's beliefs. What I follow is Christ. Who I follow is Christ, through the very words he spoke to us. And I put those so highly because the Old Testament taught about God and promised the coming of the Son. And then when Emmanuel came, or Jesus as we commonly call him, he said his words came from the Father himself. So what I follow is the way Christ taught us to live. And it's not what you might expect. Christ didn't preach to us to figure out morality or to be the greatest church builders. He spoke out against people who intentionally turned against God or intentionally held bitterness towards others. What Christ teaches is about practicing love. He teaches that we are meant to love each other in all things and behave that way as loving children of God. He said, if a man asks or forces you to help them with their problem, then help them double. He said, if someone sues you for their cloak on your back, give it to them, along with your jacket too. This is a form of unconditional love called agape. It means seeing each other as equal beings and always acting lovingly to anyone we meet. After Christ preached this, men did their best to adopt it. And the church was built and it started out great. It was loving, it was kind, it was doing good deeds. But over time, some of it changed. What people have done is taken the words and used them to create a system of doctrine that makes some sense. The words of the Bible, I mean. But this doesn't accomplish what Jesus told us to do, which is transform our lives. From being broken to being healed. From being indifferent to others to loving them as though they were ourself. From living a life of moderate happiness to living a life full of loving happiness in the Lord. So make no mistake, being a follower of Christ is a way of life more than it is a religion. It's a decision to love people the way we would want to be loved in their shoes. It's a decision to live out the two greatest commandments, loving God and loving people in everyday life. From the moment we wake up until we fall asleep, we act and behave lovingly to others, just like Christ told us in Matthew, in Luke, and in every action he took. It's a calling to live out loud with our God, to do good works and put them up on a hill to be seen by all, to be examples of love for everyone, so that the watching world would look at us and see the example of God's love. It's a choice to live life through Christ and know that it is given abundantly to us.